All you MCs out there, switch your position and come to Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. This is how we go, you can check your whole flow. All them studios, they overcharging us. You gotta come to Listen Vision and get with us. This is DC's #1 recording spot. This is KRS-One. What up, K-Dot? My man DJ Boom, they got a whole room that they can get down with. I hope to see you soon. Come down to Listen Vision and switch your position. Real hip hop. Listen Vision, Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio.
Listen to my man KRF. Hit us up in the studio at 202-332-8494.
The internet is listenvision.com, you bet. This is KRS-One and I'm out, black. Peace. Time it is. Word up. KRS-One coming through. All you MCs out there, switch your position and come to Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. This is how we go, you can check your whole flow. All them studios, they overcharging us. You gotta come to Listen Vision and get with us. This is DC's #1 recording spot. This is KRS-One. What up, K-Dot? My man DJ Boom, they got a whole room that they can get down with. I hope to see you soon. Come down to Listen Vision and switch your position. Real hip hop. Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio.
Listen to my man KRF. Hit us up in the studio at 202-332-8494.
The internet is listenvision.com, you bet. This is KRS-One and I'm out, black. Peace.
Hey everybody, oh my God, hey, this is Jeremy Beaver. I'm the CEO and founder of Listen Vision Recording Studios. We're here on District Spotlight with, oh my God, I worked so hard for this. I did. Adam Levin, grandson of Chuck Levins. Oh my God, thank you for being with us.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
So when I say I worked hard, vouch for me here.
You did.
I worked on this one. Why did I work on this one? Well, there's a personal aspect to this, and we'll get into the illustrious company that you run, but there's a personal aspect, and I'm going to reveal it now. So, 20 years ago, I came to this city. 21 years ago, I came to this city, and I was 17 years old, and I was a DJ, and I'm from New York, and I am trying to explore this area, and I don't know where to go or what to do, but I'm into music, and I love music. There was only one. And I say, people in internet land, one place that I knew I needed to go. And where do you think that was?
I hope it's Chuck Levins.
It'd be awkward if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I want to thank you for being on the show because I'm like partially here and existing because of your family and your company. And I also want to thank Steez Energy Drinks. A lot of the reason why I'm so hopped up right now. Thank you. You do know what time it is, and what time it is that Duck Down has sponsored this show. Oh my God, my favorite record label of the '90s, Helter Skelter, all the greatest groups, Black Moon. Oh my God, Black Moon. Helter Skelter, one half of Helter Skelter. And you can go to track 2 if you like there, where all the beats start there. Mike, thank you so much. You're the greatest engineer ever. So this is Sean Price. He is my favorite rapper of all time. This is Sean Price. Sean Price. We have a Sean Price bobblehead. Oh my God, Sean Price bobblehead right now in the building. Okay? So big things are happening. And I want to thank all those people. So now that I've thanked everyone, I want to get to the good stuff. For 2 seconds, real briefly, and I know this is probably boring to you because you've said it a million times, but tell the people in 150 countries on the largest internet radio station in America, who is Chuck Levin, and what did he start?
So Chuck Levin was my grandfather. He was just a straight up businessman. He was your classic, handshake is as good as his word. If he said he was going to do it, he got it done, and that was it.
That's him on the screen right there, everybody.
That's Grandpa. In the early 50s, he was working under his grandmother his mother in a pawn shop on 8th Street downtown, and he was learning the art of the deal. He was a child of the School of Hard Knocks. He grew up in New York. Came down here with his mom and opened up a pawn shop and learned how to do deals and business and sales and all this sort of stuff.
When you say came down here, where'd he come from?
New York.
New York, okay.
Came from New York. And, I actually found it was very funny. I found a picture from the pawn shop not too long ago when we were cleaning out one of our warehouses. And in the pawn shop, you see tons of guitars lining the walls and clothes and some other stuff, but really tons of guitars, and it was from the pawn shop that the Washington Music Center was born, and it opened up just down the street from that pawn shop. It was on 8th Street downtown.
And tell people what year that was.
That was 1958.
Now hold on. This is what people don't realize, is that there are two institutions in this city that this city literally it breathes because of. And they were both founded in 1958. Most people don't realize it. And Chuck's was one, and the other one was Ben's Chili Bowl. What? You just got a trivia. You're welcome. Anyways. Oh, shit. Joe, I'm telling you, the best engineer in the business. What is he, psychic? I didn't even tell him I was going to do that.
He knows.
This guy's incredible. What? Mike, yo, I'm so getting you stoned later, dude. All right, anyways, listen. So we're talking about the late 50s. We're talking about guitars, and we're talking about music in the Capitol. What made, do you think, him go from the pawn shop to kind of like the Washington Music Center thing?
So he always said that music was a happy business. He loved people. He loved wheeling and dealing. He loved just talking to people, seeing how he could help them, and he saw the popularity of instruments and stuff in the 50s. Rock and roll was kind of booming up, and it was becoming a thing. And he's just savvy and decided, I want to be in a happy business. I want to help people. I want to be involved in something that's fun and engaging. And so you have the Washington Music Center.
I mean, music's an easy... music, it's so interesting because I'll get to other questions later, but, there's only so many things that stand the test of time. Music is one of those things. And so what I'd like to do now, just because we've talked about it a little bit, is I'd like to go directly to that first video, Mike, which is basically a little overview of the shop up there in Wheaton, Maryland. And go ahead and kick that off. Let's see what we got here. District Spotlight.
Hey, coming back, I'm coming back, coming back to, I'm coming back, I'm coming back, I'm coming back, coming back to life, I'm coming back, I'm coming back.
My God, first of all, that was beautiful look into it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know who the music was?
I'm not sure. It was done by another, local.
It's a local act?
Yeah.
We're going to have to find out. Tune in later and we'll find out who that was. If you know who that was, tell us. Listen, I ran during that break. I ran away, and he's probably, what the hell's going on? I really spent time on this because I really wanted to ask some good questions. And one of those good questions is about, it's about family, and it's about generations. It's about things that work. Tell us about how your grandfather passed to your father and uncle to you. How is that relationship like in a business working with your family?
It's a wild ride. When I was growing up in the business, it was never imposed on me. My dad, my uncle, and my aunt had a very different experience growing up. So my grandfather ran the shop with his wife, Marge, and she let him put his name on the building, but she really had a hand.
Oh, we all know that. That's every family.
She was it. So growing up, my dad, my uncle, my aunt, whenever they were out of school, they were working in the business. They were moving boxes, cleaning the floors, whatever it was. After school, on weekends, my dad drove down from Penn on weekends from college to work in the store on the busy weekend. So like, it was ingrained in them that they belonged there their entire lives. And the transition was pretty smooth by time my grandfather passed in 2002, 2001, 2002. You know, my dad, my uncle, my aunt had been there for 30-something years. That was kind of.
There wasn't a transition. But there was a knowledge transition.
Oh, yes.
I mean, there in terms of what they had learned over the years.
And that got the second I got in there, it was learn it old school. You know, it's not change things now, and you know, I'm kind of like the agent of change, I guess. But to understand how you got to change a business like that and take it into the 21st century, you have to understand how it lasted 50-something years.
Right.
You know, it worked for a reason, and you had to understand that to shift it to be something that still works today.
And what do you think? You know, oh, that's beautiful. Your father and your uncle there. I had just got that. What do you think? There's so many different things, I mean, that we could probably point to, but just point to 3 things that are why Chuck's has lasted 6 decades.
Wow, 6 decades.
That's crazy, right?
Crazy, yeah. The first and foremost is customer service. Is that anyone that shops there becomes a family member. This is not about you know, one sale, you're out the door, move on to the next thing. This is about relationships, and that's how this business was born, and that's how my grandfather ran it. That's how my dad, my uncle ran it. That's how I was taught to run it. And you know, it doesn't matter if someone's looking for a power adapter for their random piece of gear, or they're buying a $100,000 sound system. Above and beyond, help the customer, have them leave happy, no matter what it all costs. And that's, I mean, that's number one, first and foremost, no matter what. Mm-hmm. The second aspect I do truly believe is family, and that's my immediate family, my uncle, my aunt that are there. But every single employee that works there is an extended part of my family. And we can get more into how impactful that was for me.
And some of the, you know, and I've interfaced with many of, you know, I also live next to, life is so weird, I now live next to Chuck's, and I've interfaced with so many of the staff there, and we'll get to number 3 in a second, but tell me some of the durations, you know, tell me some of the guys in some of the departments that have been there.
My guys probably average 15 years, tenure. I mean, there's a couple new guys cropping in now, but the longest standing employees besides my uncle, my aunt, 30-something years.
Yeah.
So these are not only institutions in like the.
So you're saying
area,
that those people know more about their products than the folks when I walk into CVS?
It's a chance. There's a chance.
So they'll be more. So they'll be able to tell me more about the products than the person at Best Buy who doesn't know they have that product.
A lot of these manufacturers actually come to us for recommendations on new products, or have us test drive. Oh, we're coming up with a new guitar. Let us know your thoughts before we put this in production, so that we can make it really.
They let you test drive. Oh, that's such a great job. Look at that guy. Oh, that guy's fixing stuff. You guys fix stuff too, right?
Fix everything. We're full on. We have 4 repair shops. We have 6 buildings that have either inventory or showrooms.
6 buildings. They only own half of Wheaton, so
we have
6
100
buildings,
employees.
100 employees.
So we're like a mom and pop shop on steroids.
Mom and pop shop on steroids.
Yeah.
Nothing big. Speaking of demoing things, I want to show the people something really cool that you know about, but you didn't know I grabbed. Look what happens when you get to demo GoPro with a trombone. Mike, can you cue up video number 2? I thought this was so neat. If y'all have, oh man. Okay, cool. Well, geez, the people out there, they saw microphones and an awesome mic room. Can you tell them psychically what they just saw in terms of like, what is the mic room and the mics like?
We have in our mic demo room, we have the top 50 studio microphones that are out there, industry standards, everything from Shure, Telefunken, Neumann, all the big names, and then we have all the industry standard preamps. And we made a room where you can demo and audition anything you want in any which way. So if you want to hear one microphone through 50 preamps, or you want to hear, every microphone through one preamp, or mix it all up, you can do that.
And do you guys? So if I go in, and I'm looking for a good microphone, I mean, like your random, your average guy who wants to record at home, and I have like zero. Acoustically treated areas. I'm probably going to be recording in my closet or my deadest space, Do you, because I like giving free knowledge to people. I feel like anyone that's watching would be like, oh my God, that's so awesome. For like $300 to $500, can you name a couple microphones that you think your average run-of-the-mill person could get a decent recording from at home?
Oh, sure. You have microphones from MXL, like a CR89 is an awesome microphone under $300. You have Sennheiser microphones that either for live or studio are going to sound great. You got Blue microphones, good budget, great sound. You got AKG and Audio-Technica that make a bunch of microphones.
Blue is very popular. Why is Blue so popular?
I think it has to do with the aesthetic and the look, and they make a solid product, especially for the value. You don't necessarily need to spend $10,000 on a microphone to have it sound right. It's the talent comes first. The mic just captures it and can do it better. So,
no, that's good answers. People are probably like writing that stuff down right now. You guys want something really good? Here at Listen Vision, we have discerned, after 17 years in business, what microphone is best for rappers.
You're asking me?
No, I'm telling you.
Oh, tell me.
I'm telling you.
What is it?
After 17 years in our rooms here at Listen Vision Recording Studios, I wish the sound effects, you always want that drum roll. Are you ready for this? Genesis MXL, gold-plated.
Yeah.
Not the world's best microphone, just simply great for that kind of intense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, we've tried so many things. We've tried $10,000 microphones. We've tried, 100. I mean, this seems to be for us. What do you think of that? Do you sell those?
Yeah, hell yeah. Great mic. I mean, it's not so, I mean, the gear helps you capture what the artist is doing, and that's a great mic. You don't need to spend, a perfect example, you don't need to spend a ton of money on it, but it's got life, it's got character, it's got vibe, and it's, it fits the mold.
You guys should be writing this down. I'm not kidding. If you're not writing this down, you're not listening to the show. And then log off. Goodbye. I want to ask a few more questions, but I also want to kind of take a break. Mike, let's go to just a little bit of a music break here. We're going to gather our thoughts. We're going to thank Duck Down for sending this incredible Sean Price bobblehead doll. Rest in peace, Sean Price, my favorite rapper. Also, thank you, Steez, for your organic energy, because I feel all hopped up and I know that I won't crash, which is good. You just want to stay the hopped up. You don't want to then crash from the hopped up. Okay, so let's take a little bit of a break. We'll be back. We got a lot of time to talk with my man, Adam Levin, grandson of Chuck Levins. See you soon. Hey, we're back. District Spotlight with my man, Adam Levin, Chuck Levin's grandson. It's just only the greatest music store in the history of the world. We were just talking about PRS guitars. What did you just say? How many PRS, like handmade, unique PRSs do you have?
So in PRS alone, we probably have about 200 of their Maryland-made ones, the ones they finish by hand. And then we have, a couple, probably another 100 or so of their
in stock?
In stock.
Okay, all right. Let's just start this back a little. Let's rewind a little bit because this is a great topic. So, like, when it comes to guitars, everybody is that's into it is a purist. Okay, and what were you just saying about family businesses and how even some of the music businesses? Which companies were you referring to?
So, like I was saying, the music industry in general is a very family-oriented industry. I mean, you have Fender is the name of the guy that started Fender Guitars. Gibson Guitars was there are these people out there that are even our competitors, Sam Ash, great family that we are very close with and tight with. Paul Reed Smith Guitars, and a lot of that has to go into the care that these families put into it, and they still do. I mean, instruments are still on the higher end of things. They're still finished by hand. These are crafted instruments, and the style that one manufacturer uses is passed down from that figurehead, that name, to the people that work under him to finish them, the way they want them done.
So what you're saying is that there might be, because this is a business show, this is a show about entrepreneurs, about small business, but that seems to be a differentiating factor. I mean, if you have a sound or a product or a business that is important to maintain the legacy of, it seems intuitive that a family can do a whole lot better job of it than the random person.
There's more heart.
There's more heart.
I mean, music is an emotional business, emotional industry in general. If you're creating it, if you're working in it, music is not just numbers on a page. Music is relationships. It's people. It's feelings. It's
individual. So you were just saying off camera. He was telling me that he takes pictures of the guitars, and I was like, well, why don't you just use the pictures that they provide you? And you said it was because
every instrument is different. You might have one Paul Reed Smith guitar that is a custom 24. They're all whale blue, but they all have a completely different wood grain finish on them. And one artist might prefer one to the next, and that's art. I mean, music is art, and that's definitely a part of it.
Speaking of art, art and innovation to us here at Listen Vision go hand in hand. We're always trying to be innovative with our art and our content. I think we just showed a picture of you at NAMM. Was that at NAMM?
That was actually at a panel. I did another talk at NAMM last year. That was a Grammy panel at another studio.
Oh, Grammy panel. Yeah. Tell us about that. What was that all about?
That was about technology and the technology in music and what's happening, and our impressions of vintage versus new and analog versus digital, and that's pretty awesome.
Let's talk about that for like 2 seconds.
Sure.
Because here we are with Adam Levin, the grandson of Chuck Levin's, the illustrious Washington Music Center up there in Wheaton, Maryland. What's the website? Give us the website.
www.chucklevins.com.
If you can't remember that, I think you have greater issues. Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, because you guys are trying to do some different things with your website. Mm-hmm. And where is this? I had this giant question on name your price? What's that all about? That's awesome. We all know what the philosophy of name your price is, but sure. I mean, I've never gone to any website ever and seen name your price. Tell me about why you did that and what it is.
The real deal is, there are the prices that you see online, and the big secret of the music industry, or at least our business in general anyway, is if you call us, you are automatically getting a discount. We will hook you up. You're part of the family.
Are you listening? What's the number? If you call us, you'll get a discount. What's the number?
301-946-8808.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Could you repeat that?
301-946-8808.
And you can name your price. Now, it doesn't say we'll accept it. So if you say 25 cents for the PRS, you're not getting it.
But we'll make you a fair offer after that.
But we'll make you a fair...
no harm asking. All you got to do is ask.
Listen, I always said there's a difference between a family business and a big kind of corporate entity, and the fact that you even thought to do that, I think is unique. Are there any other, and I'm trying to lead you on here because I know there are, but what are some of the other, kind of unique or different things that you guys are doing these days at the shop?
Well, we are pushing pretty hard into the online world, but that's a delicate dance to do when you have a retail store that made the name that you're trying to push online, and you can't forget that when you're trying to push the other.
Right.
So my vision for the whole thing is that one hand feeds the other, and the website brings business to the store feeds the website. If you call the website, you're calling the guys in my store. I don't have a separate sales team that just does web sales. This is my guys are just communicating their expertise to the internet. And that's a tough challenge, but that's what we're trying to get done.
And what's interesting or sad, in my opinion, is that growing up, there were so many places. I'm from New York, so I grew up with Sam Ash. Coming here for the last 21 years, you guys have been my main store, and that's kind of nice to feel that only a music nerd understands the heart palpitations and the smell thing that goes on with music stores.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm sure you hear this all the time, but what do you think, how can you bring that into the future? So, meaning, like you said, you have a difficult task of, dividing, your attention between the site and the store. What does the music store of the future look like?
It's a combination of the two, and it has to be. But the website is certainly bringing business to the store. I mean, if you're going to visit any store these days, you pretty much 90% of the time check out the website on your phone or whatever that may be, and that validates the company. If it doesn't look the right way, then you're like, well, that's not a company I want to go drive 45 minutes to go check out. So it has to look the way that we see ourselves, and has to look the way that's going to attract people to call us and validate the company that way. There's going to be a blend of, they call it omni-channel retail, where you can buy it online, you can pick it up in the store, you can talk to someone in the store, place your order online, have it shipped to you. It's all one business. And I think it's funny sometimes when people think that, like, if you're on our website, it's something completely different than when you're in the store. The guys that are packing your box was that same guy you talked to on the phone, or the same guy you walked in the store and saw. There's no mythical, like, super building of internet. Like, it's just us. It's just us in the store.
That's interesting though. But I think everyone thinks that.
Everyone thinks that, and I mean, I'll be talking to someone on the phone, and they'll say, "Oh, I'll just buy it online." I was like, "No. I'll take your information right now. I'll give it to you cheaper now if you just buy it from me."
Oh God!
And it's a very.
So we've gone so far from actual stores and mom and pops that you can't even convince people that there's a brick and mortar behind, and then vice versa. I mean, that's an interesting challenge. I think that, one of my questions I actually had for you is, what is some of the challenges, you're kind of looking at for the future? That sounds like, in a world when every brick and mortar's going out of business and no mom and pops exist, how do you remain relevant?
I think one reason really is because we are still a mom and pop, and people are starting to realize that there's more than just a soulless, faceless website. You want to talk to someone and have someone that you can rely on to get things done, especially in music, especially when you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And the biggest challenge right now is that you got online retailers, purely online. They have no retail storefront where you can come in and talk to someone. They're not demoing products. They're not, when you have a question about a microphone, they're not going to have you try 4 out and compare them. When you want to try them, they're not going to put it in your hands. But they just, they'll play games online and try and hawk something for nothing because they got no skin in the game. And I think that's devaluing a lot of what the industry is about. I mean, it puts, guys like us who are in the store from 10 in the morning till 9 at night, answering questions, playing guitars, playing drums, horns, whatever it may be, and trying to educate the next generation of musicians or the current generation of musicians, and trying to, keep everyone clued into what's happening.
Yeah.
But then that expertise and that knowledge can be instantly devalued by a price online that we have to support a family.
Right.
We have a 100-person family that we're
Right.
trying to support here.
Right.
Now, we're fortunate that we have very close relationships with a lot of our manufacturers. We've been in business with them for 50 years. They are also like our family, so we get deals. We can compete with anyone online. But that's the biggest challenge right now is that you got, eBay and, guys that are shipping things out of their garage.
Right.
That are just trying to beat price and not try and actually help a customer.
Because they only have one of them and they don't care.
They don't care.
And they don't care. Let's do this. Mike, just because I don't want to glitch up with that, let's go back to the first video again and kind of show the people, what the environment looks like at Chuck Levin's. And then we'll come back and I want to talk about some big, hefty, corporate cool stuff. Okay? So stay tuned. District Spotlight with Adam Levin. We'll be right back after this.
I'm coming back, I'm coming back, I'm coming back, coming back to. I'm coming back, I'm coming back, I'm coming back, coming back to life. I'm coming back, I'm coming back, I'm coming back, coming back to. I'm coming back.
Abdul, hey, tucking my shirt in here on District Spotlight. You're welcome. Adam Levin, Chuck Levin's grandson, but also the general manager of, one of the largest music stores in the entire nation. I mean, this is serious, heavy business. And speaking of serious, heavy business, everybody, I wanted to kind of ask you about something or tell you about something and then ask you. So, before the Second Great Depression there, right around 2007, 2008, Listen Vision got heavily involved in an agency called OPEFM, the Office of the People's Education Fund for Modernization. Thank you, Barack Obama, for giving us those $98 million, well, not us, but, the city, to modernize the D.C. public school system. Well, people out there in internet land, where do you think Listen Vision went to get all of our equipment to put into the D.C. public school system? Chuck Levin's. So let me ask you a question. What is it about, installs? How are you guys experts in terms of these installs? Because I've seen you've done other places. Can you tell me some of the other places you've done installs at?
Sure. We do, a lot of the restaurants and bars that are popping up these days, we're involved in. We help out with 930 Club. We help out with Echo Stage. We help out with Arena Stage. We help out with, places across the country. But,
churches too, right?
Big churches, McLean Bible.
Wait, hold on. That's one of the biggest churches in the land.
Yeah.
Well, that must have. We won't talk money on air, but that's a big figure. How did you guys execute that, and how long did it take you to do an install like that?
I don't know about the particulars of that specific install, but it's about relationships. Up until very recently, our whole business model was word of mouth. We let our business do the talking, and let the level that we provide to our contracting partners or restaurant entrepreneurs that are open up the plaza restaurants, and they tell someone else and someone else, and that's how this place was started. Is that we want to wow someone so much that they have to talk about us.
And so, if I have a new restaurant, bar, church, organization that needs a sound system, why should I come to Chuck Levin's?
We want to educate you. We want to help you achieve what you need to get done for your business. Music is a part of every aspect of business, even if you don't really realize it. Very seldomly do you go anywhere where there's not music playing. And people just kind of think of it in the background. But it hits you emotionally when you walk into a restaurant and there's something going on there. It's not dead silent, just people talking.
Yeah.
We're here to help you design the system. You don't have to go online and try and piece together speakers and things and think that it's going to work out right. We're going to help you look at the space and figure out the best way to, within your budget, or at least tell you what you should be spending to get it done right, how to achieve your goals. And we'll, we'll fill in all the odds and ends that you're not thinking about. How much cable you're going to need? You know, will these speakers actually mount to the ceiling or not?
So you'll help people with the actual space that they're in?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not uncommon for me or any of my other guys to go to a restaurant that is in development or already up and running, and they want to redo it, or they want to have us check out their system to see how they can improve it.
What?
We'll go in.
Man, everyone needs
check it
to.
out.
That's incredible, because there is nowhere else you can go and have them do that type of hands-on
We're not
thing.
charging for it either. I mean, we want you to understand that we're in this with you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like if your restaurant, you know, has better music because we can help you out, that's what we want to do.
Pretty sure the guys at Best Buy aren't going to come out to your restaurant, and if they were, you probably wouldn't want, you know, what they were selling anyways. I mean, this music industry has changed a lot, even just in the last 10, 20 years. One of the ways it's changed is something you touched on earlier, is the analog to digital. Tell me about the guys that come in wanting analog gear from you versus, well, geez, hold on. Is there any analog gear these days?
You know, it's
I like heard myself talking. I was like, wait, what? What are they going to get? A reel-to-reel? There's no analog gear, is there?
Analog is coming back with a vengeance.
Give me an example. I want to know.
Moog just re-released the Model D, which was the synthesizer that kind of started off the major analog portable synth, and it is 100% analog.
100%.
Through and through the
what
whole
about like a
through.
Juno 106?
There's not a USB port on that thing.
There's not even a USB port.
So it's, I mean, you know, you got.
Does it have a patch bay?
There are stuff that has patch bays. I mean, and a lot of that's coming back too. There's a set of products called Eurorack. It's a format of synthesizers.
Excuse me? What did you just say? You called me I'm a wreck? You said I'm a wreck?
Eurorack.
Oh, Eurorack. You called me a Eurorack. That's even worse.
It's just analog gear. It's analog synths. It's control voltages. Analog has a life to it. It has a vibe to it. You can copy anything in the digital space in your computer and have it sound close.
Yeah.
And you can recall it. And there's definitely reasons to.
Do you think it lasts longer?
Digital.
Do you think analog gear lasts longer?
I think it is a pain to keep up sometimes with the parts and components and stuff.
Yeah.
But it has a sound. It has
It has a feel. It has a life.
It has a life, and that's why there's still analog gear. That's why there's still guitars made by hand. That's still why there are, synthesizers that cost $4,000 that people want to buy because it sounds different than that digital copy.
Okay, so what about with digital, real quickly, because I want to give us some time on the back end. Like what? Nowadays, everyone's, Machine, Ableton, beep, bop, boop, bop, beep. What's the hot gear in terms of making beats at home? And I'm not talking Fruity Loops with all the software. Everyone knows you guys are making these beats with the software. What's the good stuff that, the good controllers that someone might want to get?
Machine, Native Instruments Machine definitely has kind of a stranglehold on the beat making
You think so?
market.
Yeah.
Akai used to when they had their the standalone MPCs.
Yeah, but not anymore.
They are going right after Machine these days, and they have a different sound set. So if you like the way the MPC flowed and you like that kind of hard hitting 808 and you like that kind of a vibe to it, Akai MPC, they still have a series of MPCs. It's just kind of it's more like Machine. Native Instruments really has the EDM, the electronic side of things on lock. And they both have benefits to either one, but those probably be the main two players in the beat making world.
Yeah. I mean, that's with our clients. A lot of our clients, we have so many clients that come here and they enroll in Listen Vision Academy to make beats. They enroll in our DJ classes. They get in the studio, having done their little. I'm sorry, I don't mean little, but having done their pre-production at home. And then they kind of come in here and we have to kind of polish and clean. I mean, it's a real ordeal. What do you think the average, and this is kind of one of the notes I wanted to end on, what do you think the average person that's out there watching or listening who's making their own music or they want to get into making their own music, what do you think is the hallmark of getting a decent sound, pre-production sound at home before you go to the big professional studio?
I think that one of the most powerful things that someone recording at home can do is become a master of the gear that they have. You have to really understand what you have and how you're supposed to use it so that you can make it do what you expect it to do. You know, a lot of guys might just buy a microphone and an interface and think they have a recording studio. It's more than the gear. You know, the gear is just a conduit to let you do what you do. There's a reason that there are engineers that are talented. And I mean, if everyone's given the same gear, some guys would make it rock and some guys would just not be able to do anything. And it comes from the knowledge and the know-how of how you're going to work that gear to benefit you. I think knowledge is, I mean, beyond all the gear, you can record an entire album on a laptop without any other gear if you know what you're doing with it. So it's really about educating yourself. We're here to help you figure that stuff out too. I mean, you're not in this alone. The internet is not the answer to all your problems. That's a lot of people just telling them how they experience things.
Right.
We'll let you compare things. You know, come in and try stuff out and educate yourself so that you can become a more powerful producer engineer.
Ooh. Oh, he got on a roll at the end. I love that. You seriously, if you have never been to Chuck Levin's in Wheaton, Maryland, first of all, with the Metro, back in the day, I went to GW, I'd jump on the Metro, you know, 20 minutes later, I'm out there. If you haven't gone out to Chuck's, go out there. Okay?
We're on the red line.
You're on the red line. You're literally walking distance from the red line. I would get off the Metro, walk 2 inches, you know, right there. But like he said, like Adam said, go try out stuff. Go ask them questions. Is it free? If I ask them a question, does it cost me money?
$0.
It costs $0. That seems like a fair price. That seems like a fair price. So what I'm getting from all this is the reason why Chuck Levin's has lasted 60 years is because it's not just a family business with a lot of heart and passion, but it's a lot of people who care about helping the consumer be a smart consumer and musician.
Music is a community. I mean, that through and through. This is not just you know, consumer gear. This is a community of musicians that want to work together and help each other, and that's what music is about, and that's what we're here for.
Listen, we're going to close up here, Mike, the super greatest engineer in the history of the universe, DJ Wahid, and the longest running show on WLVS Radio is up next, Mixtape Block Party Radio with your man Wahid, DJ FX, and B-Dub. My name is Jeremy Beaver. I am the founder and the CEO of Listen Vision Recording Studios, but we do like a gazillion things here, so please go check out listenvision.com. Please go check out chucklevins.com, chucklevins.com for the podcasters. Okay? Go buy something. Give back to the community. This is a good guy who's literally got the best shop in the entire country. And will we see you if we go?
Yeah, come out. I'm right at the front door.
He's right at the front door.
Come say hi. Come hang out.
Come say hi to him, okay? We're going to catch you next Friday. Oh, thank you for doing that. We're going to do that. Yeah, next Friday, 5 o'clock, District Spotlight. Peace. We're out of here. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Thank you. I won.
Time it is. Word up. KRS-One coming through. All you MCs out there, switch your position and come to Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. This is how we go. You can check your whole flow. All them studios, they overcharging us. You gotta come to Listen Vision and get with us. This is DC's #1 recording spot. This is KRS-One. What up, K-Dot? My man DJ Boom. They got a whole room that they can get down with. I hope to see you soon. Come down to Listen Vision and switch your position. Real hip hop. Listen Vision, Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio.
Listen to my man KRS. Hit us up in the studio at 202-332-8494.
Internet, it's listenvision.com, you bet. This is KRS-One and I'm out, black. Hush.
Hip-hop demands that you keep it real. If you fake, you ain't hip-hop.
Bring the real back, bring it right back. Real hip-hop will be gone for long, cause I'ma bring the real back, bring it right back. This is KRS and I'm live on the track. In any feud, any battle, any season, I'm #1. KRS-One, never leaving it alone. I'm rocking right now with DJ Boom.
Hip-hop asks this question. Here is, they said, Hip-Hop 101. Here's Hip-Hop 101. Do you have the courage to be you?
Let me tell y'all a story.
The bridge is over. Remember, coming on line for a style like mine, you can't find it.
Back to the 80s.
So you're a philosopher?
Listen,
Remember,
you must learn.
remember,
All they wanna do is battle. They can't write a song.
remember.
Their careers won't last long.
My choices have created KRS-One, as you may know them. Other people made other choices. Nothing wrong with the choices they made, but the choices they made set up the life that they was going to have or was going to live. Get past right and wrong, good and bad, and get with, I'm either gonna be real or I'm gonna be fake.
Baby whack, them they whack, him he's whack. This one's garbage, this one's corny, that one bores me. Baby whack, them they whack, him he's whack. This one's garbage, this one's corny, that one bores me.
We get the original 4 elements of hip-hop from Zulu Nation. Originally, Africa Bambaataa in 1974 laid down the first foundation of hip-hop in intervals of 4. 4 is a builder's number.